Got 100 blocks to go. Build a portal. Move a little bit more in the plus direction. Right now, though, I've got a different problem, which is I am miles from any actual safe way down here. I guess I could probably try this. Oh, I made it there. Hey, I saw Pigmen. First mob I've seen in the Nether for a while.
Ready, everybody, it's the Doctrzombie show. You watch Doctrzombie. He's not a doctor or a zombie, but he knows a lot about zombies, and he plays video games.
I saw Doctrzombie and Dom pass me. I don't think it was them.
Where's the body?
It's on the. If you guys actually looked through the window, you would have seen it. It's basically right under left reactor.
Left
I don't
reactor?
think it was either Doctor or Dom. It's either Ferb, Haley, or Donge.
I was
Who's
doing
doing
that.
it?
Yeah, no, I did that. Haley.
I'll hear it burning, so I'm not sure. It doesn't make sense. Oh, good! He's already shooting me. I'm under the goddamn boat. What the fuck hack is that? That's hacking. There's no way in hell that dude wasn't cheating. No way. There's no way. He shot me through the boat. Are you alright? Oh shit! No! No! Somebody just killed Not Patches. He's on the roof. Oh, what happened? Oh god! Yeah, that's not good. This is bad. This is real bad. I don't want to die and lose all the... Hello again, everybody. Welcome back to another Doctrzombie live stream. In spite of the very stressful nature of those clips, especially that Sea of Thieves one, I was fucking raging at that. That may be... That's one of the games where it's like 90% of the time, totally chill, don't mind losing, happy to fucking lose all my shit, and then 10% of the time it's fucking gamer rage, which no matter how old I am, I'm quite embarrassed by. Hello, everyone. The Roottrees are dead. This we know. We've solved the mystery of their family and their deep, dark secret. But we're back because they have more secrets to tell us. And I just got a message from my wife. Hold on. Okay, she would like food now. I may have to take an immediate break. And she didn't want dinner. She was like, I don't know what I want. I'm not that hungry. And now she would like me to make her English muffin pizzas. Okay, this could take 10 minutes or more. But I have to do it. I will leave up the intermission screen. I'm so sorry to have to do this immediately at the start of the stream. But at least I can leave you with this, and I will mute the game so you can actually hear the fucking clips. So sorry. The wife is more important. I'll be back in a bit.
He's slightly dead.
One more.
Whoa! I wrote on your face! What the hell?
I was wondering how the fuck you did that.
You launched me!
Oh my god, that was amazing.
I'm just looking up at the last curse site bug, and I just see Engineer go flying across the sky. I'm like,
That
oh,
was nuts.
I wrote Doc's face.
Holy shit.
It was glorious.
Oh,
congratulations, dude. I'm so happy for you.
Man,
The world's best mustache ride.
I need a cigarette.
That ought to be nice to pack away in there. Buy some pins. Some pro LGBTQ keychains and bracelets. Ah, peanuts! We can fill our packages with nuts! I'm gonna nut in every package. If they hit the island, I'll try to board them. Nope, they're gonna hit you, though.
Yeah.
And then they're gonna hit the island. Come on, I'm on the ladder. Anchor's lowered.
Okay.
I grabbed their storage crate, and I'm coming back. Pirate Reed! I hope there's something in this crate. Oh, he's gonna stab me! Oh, I dropped it in the water right at the ladder.
Shit, he got me.
Stuff in my inventory that could really benefit the ship. You know, like 19 scrap.
Nice. That is very beneficial. Oh, this guy hasn't gotten water. Yep, my bad. Okay, there we go. There's nothing happening!
Well, Thomas, you fuckface.
Just listen to what
What's everybody leaving?
they're looking for this, not ghost, let's call it
I don't like this game.
bodiless.
You know, I
food.
once had a ghost go through 3 doors right there to come fuck me.
What?
You should
What?
always be holding
a
down
bad
your V
time.
button so people can hear this. It's great.
What?
He's in the kitchen.
What? I'm not going in the
Did they say
kitchen.
that she's in the kitchen?
I don't want to go in the kitchen.
Go in the kitchen.
Where is he? Yeah, he's in the kitchen.
Oh, it's colder in there. It's like 10 degrees.
He's cooking
No.
up some.
No, go back to the kitchen.
I don't want to go in the kitchen.
There's
love-
no
we
ghost
love
right
a
now. You
man
have
who can
time.
cook,
Look,
okay?
there's pickles.
I don't want to
Where
be
are
in
you?
here.
All right, walk around the room. See if you can
He's
get a
close.
really low temperature.
I don't want
Where are you?
Go around where
We're good. We're good.
rocks here a little bit. We may not do any damage, or may do a little bit.
I'm pretty sure.
Nope, just gently lift it up here. There's a shipwreck nearby too. Okay, apparently I'm backing into Steve's hand. What? What's going on? Beep, beep.
Back it up. Back it up.
That was a bit weird. It's fine. Let's get to work.
Yeah,
Oh God.
that's what I call a reverse Donald Trump.
Oh, Jesus Christ, man. I don't want to get into it, but there has been some Nixon level bullshit happening in our government lately, and nobody gives a fuck. It's like, oh,
I mean,
terrible things happen, and nobody cares.
well, you have to understand it's because we're all distracted by the dank memes.
Yeah, there are a lot of dank memes, man. Thank
Yeah,
God.
there's
Thank
a
God for the dank memes.
shitload.
Oh, that was he was going for the quad damage too. And I just happened to get there a millisecond before him and then shotgun him point blank.
And got smashed with a head. Hey, thanks for the donation, XD. What did it say? Did it say anything? I can't even tell. Oh man, I missed it. Fuck. I'm sorry. Rip. The bot works. Yay. Oh wait, a new quest. Barracuda's diploma. I'm done. I will join you guys back here in about 45 minutes for Town of Us, the Among Us mod to end all Among Us mods. It's like Town of Salem, and Among Us had a really hot orgy, and then, oops, one of them got pregnant, and now we're playing it. I'm gonna go. I'll see you guys later. Oh my god. Alright, be back in 45 minutes, guys, or less. We'll see. Ta-ta. I'm never gonna live that one down. Here's the ruins. A choppy start, but I think that we've finally gotten over... You could not have planned that better.
fucking... I didn't even finish the fucking sentence. And the game crashed. Oh my god, Game of the Year 2023. Oh my... Oh... 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 That's fucking amazing. Oh... Medical emergency. Someone died. Oh, hey. Wow, Gibbous, thanks for the money. Holy shit. Thanks for the kind donation. If I recall, you said something about me buying some Jack Daniels honey with that money. So I'll definitely make sure to do that. Cheers, buddy. Oh, God. I don't think I want to buy that again. Ugh. Whew. Oh, that was... He was going for the quad damage, too. And I just happened to get there a millisecond before. Hidden. I think I'll go this way. No. No. I go this way. Oh. It was almost a bot killing Doc somehow. Because I'm bad at video games. That's too bad. 940. I'll probably... Sometimes things that look like they're scary and evil are not going to attack you. And that one seems to have left me alone. It definitely could have chewed my face if it wanted to. I'm on fire. Oh god, something! No, I hit the E button! Where are you? Oh my god, that thing, it just murdered me so bad. Holy crap. It moves so fast in the water. Hello, Jesus? Oh, okay, we're back. Now I gotta go get my shit. Oh my god! So fast! I'll hear it burning, so I'm not sure. It doesn't make sense. Oh good! He's already shooting me. I'm under the goddamn boat! What the fuck hack is that? That's hacking. There's no way in hell that dude wasn't cheating. No way. There's no way. He shot me through the boat. Nice. Nicely done, Mr. Fantastic. That was real good.
I just saw green vent. I just saw green vent. I'm not kidding about this. I'm good. I have a cat left of dropship. He just vented next to the security camera.
Again.
Well, well, Cyan's dead. By
How
now.
can it always be Mr. Fantastic every single time?
Dom can vouch for me, but I'm glad Cyan's dead. How about that?
Thanks a lot. I know without a doubt on my mind, it is Mr. Fantastic.
Hops rotted away. Well, that's too bad, I guess. Gotta get beer sometime. Just not right now. There we go. Solo, I died! Ah, god damn it. He died because of the infection. Of course you did. Of course. Why? Why add you to this game? I'm just destining... I'm destining... I'm creating a destiny in which one of my people will simply fucking die. Ugh. Wow. Just... speaking of cigars and streaming, Dr. Wifey has taken the kids down to Florida to visit her mother. The first and second week of August. That's right, 14 days of Doctrzombie, you, me, tequila. Maybe a cigar or two. So I'll probably do a cigar and stream night as well, which is one of my favorites. And people seem to enjoy it because I talk about real shit, like whether or not. Got it. Dom, fantastic chop. I gotta go to storage. Oh.
Body was.
What? Oh, that is a. I'm sorry, what? Why is our belief system not called hard man porkism? What is hard man porkism? It is supremacist cannibal raider. It is basically our ideology. Ours is man flesh. Hers is hard man porkism. 10 out of 10. This game of the year, RimWorld, hard man porkism. It's glorious. Oh, fuck me. Hard man porkism. I've got food. That's important. Let's get rid of all this fucking trash that I don't need in my hands. Just to clear things up for a bit. Alright, let me readjust where I'm headed. That's the right. Stay away from creepers. I am headed to a position in negative to meet up with Dusty and Gibbous. Pop up on the screen that said you did the thing.
I said I leveled up, but it didn't see my daily
I
task.
see your daily
play
task
chess
isn't done
75%. I said go to work.
No,
you
he
bitch.
needs to make waffles. He's going back for more.
I'm making food.
How do you make it
You're
stop?
gonna be late for work.
Her. It's a her. Well, you leveled up in cooking too. Yetter's got fired.
It'll just give me a vacation day.
Oh my God! Why won't
Go
she go to work?
I
How do you stop?
I told you to go to work. Stop. Go to work. Go to work.
Keep smashing
Go
the
to
button
work.
until that bitch leaves
Go
the
to
house.
work.
Don't go.
It's getting-
Why are you making more food? You didn't eat the food you had before. You stupid Yeti bitch.
Eat the garden. Just eat the garden salad, and then maybe she'll go to work.
I can't play this game. People make me so mad. Oh my God! I'm gonna burn this house down with the lemons. I need to pet her. Oh shit, it's a her? Never mind. Give me a sec. Oh man, I don't know how she's gonna give you a titty fuck. I guess I don't really... Can't wait to see my portrait. It's going right behind me so people can say it on straight. Here, that should suffice. Shout out to my channel is all she really needs to kick off her career. Whoa, you're doing this specifically just for exposure? Do you know how rude and vain that is? Exposure doesn't pay the bills, Slay Queen.
Congratulations.
Whoa, I found exposure bucks. Oh, God, I am a genius. I am a genius sometimes. Exposure bucks. XB worth nothing. Okay. This bullshit.
I don't know. I mean, it is Minecraft, so people calling themselves cave something, I mean, is not out of the realm of possibility, but still, I mean, be a little more creative, you know?
There's a creeper over here, Fit. A legitimately
Really?
spawned creeper. Close to spawn.
What the fuck?
What's happening? I don't know what this server's about anymore.
Yeah, is this even 2B anymore? I don't think so.
Piled higher. Huge tracts of land. Breaded and fried to a crispy golden finish. The aroma envelops you, and you begin to feel warm and hard. Safe. Safe. Colonel Sanders has filled a bucket with chicken. What a novel concept. Your stomach begins to grumble, as if to say, stop thinking and start fucking. I mean, eating. I wish I had a button to bleep myself right there. It would have been amazing. Oh boy. Okay, that's one way to follow it. Here's the valley. Here's the south side of it. And here is a red plant. Those are like the easiest things to see on the map. I have to orient them by that. Alright, I believe... Hold on. It's like, am I standing on it? Nice. Wow.
My fingers are swollen.
It's gonna be fun trying to get you down the hall into the bed.
It'll be fine. It's fine.
We got a futon here, I guess.
It'll be fine. It's just some wine.
Back to the quotes page.
It's getting hot in here.
Yeah, no kidding.
It's because I'm drinking. I was so cold. Oh, Eliza's calling. Everybody, Eliza's calling. Yes, we... See, I knew it. I knew it. I knew it.
Panda died. Panda's gone. Bubba J bed bombed him to death. And then what happened to Bubba J? Hold on. Okay, so Panda's dead. Bubba J is... I don't know.
So I've got somebody in my stream here asking me what's going on with Baba J. Isn't he a vet? So that is a long story. And I don't know, Fit, are you better equipped to tell this one, or am I?
Got this thing built up. Incredible. Okay. Oh, okay. If they're not paying attention to me...
I have returned.
That's a hit! And it's tracked!
We don't have any tanks. Yeah. Oh, we do.
Yes, we need your help actually.
And I killed the guy inside! That's a kill for me!
Someone blow up this truck. I need someone to blow up this truck.
It's a third hit, but I'm out of AT.
Paul, he also knows how to...
It's tracked, and one of the dudes inside is dead!
Oh.
What do you think of my new fancy uniform?
Yes! They got it! Yeah, good job, Rico. I'm gonna commend Rico for that shit. Alright, we got one.
They go like that. I'm just saying.
My God. I'm gonna get banned from Twitch again.
Are you really?
No, it's fine. Shh.
I'm sorry. I got brighten her day.
Somebody
I got a
clip
sweet. What?
Nothing. It's fine.
I got a sweet talker. Stop showering. You're showered enough. Okay, let's sweet talk her. Let's brighten her day.
Are you alright? Oh shit! No! No! Somebody just killed that Patches! He's on the roof! Oh, what happened? Oh god! Yeah, that's not good. This is bad. This is real bad. I don't want to die and lose all the...
Bonk. Okay, he's fucking dead.
He's slightly dead.
One more.
Whoa! I rode on your face! What the hell?
I was wondering how the fuck you did that.
You launched me!
Oh my god, that was amazing.
I'm just looking up at the last curse light bug, and I just see Engineer go flying across the sky. I'm like,
That was nuts.
I rode Doc's face.
Holy shit.
It was glorious.
Congratulations, dude. I'm so happy for you.
Man.
The world's best mustache ride.
I need a cigarette.
She's doing.
Well, she's got to use that thing that you squirt on your hoo-ha because...
That thing's great. I still have mine.
Do you still use it?
Sometimes.
Asking for Reddit.
Sometimes.
Wait, what? I was joking.
Sometimes you need it.
Sometimes you feel like a...
Men will never understand.
No.
Only women who have children will understand how wonderful that little squeezy bottle is they give you in the hospital.
Haley's streaming. I'll go ask.
Haley, I'm telling you, keep it. If you did throw it away, shame. But I know you kept it because every woman keeps it. I kept all of mine. I only have the latest one.
Hey, why are you faking that task, huh?
I'm not faking a task, Dan. You liar.
I think you are.
Yeah, you know what I think?
I think I'm dead.
I think you're wrong. I can't even right now. I'm sorry, I can't right now. Oh my god.
Why did you just kill him and run away like that?
I don't know what you're talking about. I'm definitely not laughing my ass off because of the spooky ghost voice going, God damn it, Doc!
Oh, you haven't heard the ghost yet. Yeah, I made sure that was on so I can yell at whoever kills
God,
me.
It's so fucking funny. Go up the stairs or something! Or in the basement. That'll be safe. Go that way.
No, it won't. No, it won't.
Well, it's not gonna be safe running around the hallway screaming.
Paul Thomas, you're a bitch. I hate
As long as you don't hear the grudge noise, you're fine.
I literally wish we'd never met.
Oh, hey, turn on the power. Click on that red button. There you go. Power's back on. Hopefully Paul Thomas didn't follow you into the garage. Okay, you're still... What? What's there? It's fine. It's okay. He's gone. The light is back on. It's okay. Everything's fine. We're all good here. Over.
I was got a picture of the ghost.
Dr. Wifey didn't throw her headphones. Over.
Oh my god.
It's fine. Go back inside where everyone is. See if
you can.
Anybody near me? This door's open. Oh. I don't like that. I don't like that. Ah! Oh god! I don't know what's attacking me! Ah! 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 9 o'clock. I tried to start almost an hour ago, and things kept happening, kept getting interrupted. Work called. Dr. Wifey needed food, but that's fine. Now it's almost 9 o'clock. I may play to midnight. I don't give a fuck. I deserve it. Rude. Fucking rude. work called and said, if you don't get this form in tonight, you are not allowed to work remotely ever again. It's your agreement, your work agreement, telework agreement. You have to be full-time 5 days a week in the office if you don't get this form in tonight. It told me about it tonight at 8 o'clock. Fuck off. So ridiculous. Like, that is just Elon Musk levels of bullshit. At least Elon Musk gave everybody a week. Welcome back. Hello, everybody. It's the Roottrees Are Dead, the bonus content. It is a White Claw hard seltzer pineapple flavor. I don't think I've had the pineapple flavor yet. It smells pineapple-y. I do like pineapple. I do like spilling things on myself. You know, anger-induced rage. Fuck. What a great game to be angry. Actually is, because this will calm me down right away. It'll stimulate those brain juices. Roottreemania. So, let me start by talking about my theories. And I know that there's only one of you who stuck out the fucking 45-minute goddamn ass bullshittery. This is for the VOD, mostly. And you, Dirty D, who's been here since the beginning. We have the Roottrees infidelity. There's several possible infidelities. And there's dates, which is actually way more than I thought they would give us. So possible infidelity 1, 2, 3, and 4. Oh, this is just family tree update. So this is people who've had babies since. Obviously, Stephanie Landon absolutely has had a child. And so let me talk about what's happening. And then let me tell you my theories before we even get started. Because I think I already know some information that has been just sprinkled in the game that maybe was intended to be an additional part of the game originally when the author wrote it, or maybe they added it in later when they came up with this. Doesn't matter. Let me have a sip here. Dirty DI will never know. We'll never know if it's good. I have heard that, though. I've heard it sweetens your jizz. Or really any sweet drinks will do that, but pineapple was specifically mentioned. And pineapple has some unique properties as far as like breaking down meats. Like if you ever cook ham and pineapple together, it becomes disgusting because it melts the ham essentially. You have to add it on late. Anyway. It works in this. And I've had pineapple juice cans that I've added any alcohol to it. It's still great. All right, we know dates, but before I even look at the dates, let me talk about my theories. Theory number 1. And I'll go in random order. Theory number 1, Carl Roottree. The plane was brought down not by accident. I don't actually believe this theory. I think this is, me saying, this is a theory, but I don't think it's true. I think the plane accident was an accident. I don't think anybody brought him down. The whole thing with Sam trying to say, hey, look, these people, the reason for me sending you on this goose chase is to make sure that a independent person who has nothing to do with the Roottree family can use the evidence that's here and prove that my father belongs in the Roottree family tree, that the Clansed Trust guarantees he receives a share of the money, regardless of what happened in his youth, regardless of Elias's prejudice toward homosexuals, regardless of me being born out of wedlock. This is Sam. I am still related to Elias by blood. I still belong in the Clansed Trust because the Clansed Trust could not add these loopholes in without breaking the whole thing. So that's what happened in episode 1, in the first half of the game. We proved through evidence that the Clansed Trust is the only way that the president of the Roottree Candy Company makes any money at all. The president only makes a few dollars per year, the price of a pack of 5 pieces. So no one can afford to be the president of the company unless they're directly related by blood, except Elias Roottree, Ernest Madsen Jr. was the president of the Roottree Company, even though his mother, Samantha Roottree, was disowned when she was born out of wedlock, and was basically told by the family, you're allowed to run the farm hands, you're allowed to run the Anderson farm, but you will receive no share in the Clanstead Trust. At the time, she thought this was acceptable because she was living as, an adopted daughter, told her parents were dead. She found out later in life that, in fact, her adopted father, Edward Clancy, was a secret twin of Clancy Edward, and therefore a direct biological descendant of Elias Roottree, who was cast out because he was gay. He lived with his partner, John Miller. And therefore, due to a lawsuit that was brought over here, where Ronald Roottree tried to disinherit Robert Roottree because he was born out of wedlock. We know this from the information about Gwen Roottree breaking up with Walter Forsythe of Wild Bill. And that he committed a crime against Ronald Roottree. He embezzled from the screen company that Ron Roottree built. That he should not be in the trust. And the lawsuit was lost. Robert Roottree won his lawsuit because the airtight Clanstead Trust says any direct blood descendant of Elias Roottree is in the trust. And that includes people who were thrown out for any reason or born out of wedlock. So that's why Sam did it. And she said she didn't even care about the money. She wanted her children and her grandchildren to be included in the trust. She wanted them to have a life. Especially because her son, Ernest Jr., worked as president for the company for, I think she said 16 years? He worked there for a long time and made nothing. He made $4 a year. He lived off Deborah Bean's company's family's success. She was independently wealthy enough to hold them on one person's salary. And, it was the 70s. You could do that, kind of. But now, with Ernie dead, and they originally got help from Carl. Carl felt guilty about their situation. He didn't see why they were removed from the trust. They made it through, and now they're wealthy. But now, other people are coming out of the woodwork and saying, I am a blood relative of Elias Roottree. Now, there's no way to trace it by DNA. Well, maybe there is. You could, foreseeably trace your DNA to somebody who's already been proven to be in the Roottrees family tree. But we are here to find out who has had an affair out of wedlock, what family trees have come about due to that, and if any of them are allowed to take part in the Clanstead Trust, if they are now wealthy. And then, of course, top secret envelope, you can fill it in after everybody else has been filled in. Now, that explains why we're here. And also, I apparently can still go back and get some of these things that I've missed. So I may have to do that. There are a couple names and pictures. Actually, no, it did automatically fill in all the stuff from the first game. It's giving me extra photos. So these photos must relate to one from Zach and one from Chris. Must relate to data that we're gathering down here. So that kind of actually tips me off that, and Clark Rafferty. Maybe Clark has had an affair. After all, he has been known to fuck out of wedlock. That's how he wound up divorcing Jane LaRue and marrying the sister Kim, who he was caught in bed with. So Clark has come to me and said, look, Sam doesn't believe me. She won't talk to me, but I'm actually on her side. I want everyone who's been proven to be a direct descendant, including ones out of wedlock, including ones the family doesn't like, to get their money. So, here's my theories. We have three infidelities, possible infidelity, it does say possible, and one family tree update. My guess is the family, so here's the thing, with the family tree update, there is a marriage and a baby. What's the date? Does it tell me what the year is now? It is 1999. Okay, so obviously, Stephanie Landon's child is not married. They would be a year old. Perhaps there is somewhere else on the tree that they pop in. I doubt it. That's a bit weird. because they are absolutely part of the trust. But maybe we're just focusing on the infidelities in the updated tree. Here's my theory. We have 3 infidelities. I don't think Carl. I don't think so. I think Clark. And the reason I think Clark is because he's the one coming in and asking. So I would not be surprised if in, let's see, 1949 or 1975. Clark, in 49, I believe. So I don't have access to my old evidence. I can look at the new stuff. It's been 8 months since I helped Sam. I do not have my old pages back, but I believe Clark would have been a young adult in the 70s. So that excludes him from this. He'd be too young. And wood possible here, but I actually think this is... okay. I actually saw a picture of who they had in here, and it's not him. So my theory that it's Clark may be unfounded. Or, you know, maybe it's Clark's mother? I doubt it. Lauren Roottrees gave us so much information and never once mentioned it. Guy Hudson. Guy Hudson was killed in a car accident by an alleged drunk driver. No one was ever arrested. The police had not enough information. All they had was a make and model of the car, not a license plate, nothing else. But I don't think it was an accident. I don't know if we can look up old stuff, but I will try. I have to get the periodicals and shit all re-unlocked. Okay, Guy Hudson. It unlocked all that stuff. Talked about, you know, during Roottreemania, he suddenly rose to prominence after 5... Okay, so this is new information. I don't want to jump into new information, but... Oh, here we go. Actually, it does kind of talk about it a little bit. He died in a car crash while he was drunk or impaired in some way, but the Butler County Police have released multiple statements and ample evidence that proves decisively it was not foul play and that no party had taken place. I don't know if I believe that. The initial report was someone was driving erratically, they ran them off the road, it looked like an accident, but it's suspicious at best. And there was a conspiracy website saying that it was suspicious. Guy Hudson is the one I saw over here showing up. And that little blurb did say that he was known to be a party guy. So he potentially had 5 infidelities, allegedly. We've got a 1921 that would place one of the original 5, and probably not Miracle. He would be too young, but it could be any of the others, including, technically, Edward Clancy, but I'd be willing to bet it's actually Clancy Edward, him and Sarah, because he knew that he had a twin brother, and he kept it a secret, and he's kind of shady. For that alone. So my guess is maybe Clancy Edward. He had lots of sons. I did think maybe Carl Roottrees, because he had 3 daughters and maybe was really trying to get a son and thought, well, maybe if I bang some chicks on the side, I'll get a son. Especially because he named his daughter, middle child, Carly, because they thought it would be a boy. That was why they named it Carly instead of Carl. It was supposed to be Carl Jr. But again, I mean, maybe it has nothing to do with... And again, the only one from 1975 is going to be Guy Hudson. So, the other one's 1949. 1949 would be one of the next gens. And I'm guessing it would be Zach Morden, just because of the extra picture. That seems the most likely. Could be anyone, though, honestly. And I was also actually really leaning toward Miracle Jr., the disgraced sleazy pastor or televangelist who used his wife Edith's sister to convince people that he could cure crippled people. Like he's already digging in the lies. It's quite possible that, I mean, he's got the smile, right? the sort of like dirty smile. If I'm gonna bet, I still feel like Miracle Jr. is the potential. But no, that can't be either because he's too young. Because he shows up in the same pictures as these guys. So no, that can't be. It's got to be someone older. It's probably Zach. All right, those are my initial predictions. Zach, Clancy Edward, although he's got a lot of kids, so who knows. I know Guy Hudson, I believe, was murdered by a jealous lover. We'll find out tonight, hopefully. I've got significantly less time due to all the interruptions. But let's start with our evidence. Notable events start here. It's August 3rd, 1999. It's been 8 months since you helped Sam Madsen with her research necessary for her book. Sam was true to her word and paid you an incredibly large sum of money. She never met you by name, however, so you've managed to keep a low profile. The Roottrees, on the other hand, have not. Below is a summary of the notable events since the book's release. You can refresh your memory full by detail by searching online. 6 pieces. Sam's book about Elias Roottree was released in February. It was a bestseller for a few months. At the time, Carl had not yet been replaced. In March, the Roottree company stumbled publicly as they attempted to respond to the book's release with multiple conflicting press releases and a clear lack of leadership. Clark Rafferty LaRue. Clark was announced as the permanent successor to Carl Roottree and welcomed Sam Madsen into the family officially. The company hired an outside legal group to handle the changes to the Clancy Trust. This included any other new questions of lineage. So Clark is the new president. That may be why he's calling on me now. But I think it's because he knows someone in his tree that is going to be brought into the trust. I don't know how yet. 5 Ps. A rash of different people claiming to be Roottrees, mostly dismissed as opportunists and scammers. The highest profile of these by a wide margin was a rapper named Felix Fellows, who changed his moniker to 5 Ps as a publicity move. He's the only notable person on the updated tree. Okay, so is 5 Ps a real Roottree? Roottreemania. High-profile misstep Miracle Roottree publicly and vehemently denied that 5 Ps was a Roottree. The Rootree's legal team offered to do a DNA test to get 5 Ps to drop his claim, and in a moment that caught the entire world by storm, the test proved he was a Roottree. Okay. Suddenly, the world was obsessed with the Roottrees. Anonymom and Jane Doe Roottree. In July, an anonymous woman who the press began to refer to as Anonymom appeared in interviews with her face and voice disguised, claiming that an affair with a Roottree led to the birth of her daughter, aka Jane Doe Roottree. If true, this would make her a daughter yet another secret Roottree and therefore entitled to a share of the Clancy Trust. Nobody knew it at the time, but this would turn out to be the last chapter in the Roottreemania saga. As more and more of Anonymom's story came out, people began to notice how much it echoed 5 Ps in nearly every significant way. The court of public opinion began to turn. Confirming the world's suspicions, the DNA test orchestrated by lawyers on both sides proved that her daughter was not a Roottree. This final event caused public disappointment, smugness from doubters, and countless accusations of the entire ordeal being an elaborate hoax or attempt at fraud. Things got a bit ugly, and the fun of Roottreemania seemed to disappear overnight. Now, a month later, it feels like a distant memory. So, Anonymom's daughter, not a Roottree. No DNA connection to the family. But 5 Ps is. She just made it up to appear like 5 Ps. We're going to look at both. Where do we start? That's a great question. This is a new investigation with a new focus. After many months of newfound interest in the Rootrees, it's recommended you try to catch up with some of what happened since last time. Some web searches may yield new or different results, and some books and magazines from your previous investigation may be relevant to your new one. It's also a much more widespread search. The list of first and last names you could choose from will contain red herrings. Not all of them will be used. Below is a reminder of some of the most notable beats on your initial dive into the Roottree family tree. All evidence from before is still available, and for your convenience, any searches that do not lead to new information still function as they did during your first investigation. Great. Obviously, Guy Hudson has a lot more. The Roottree Candy Company was founded by Elias and Gwyneth many years ago. Financial alliance, health of that company. Most of the action took place around Butler County, Pennsylvania, where the company was located. Elias, Carl, Raina were on the cover of magazines. Other notable Roottrees, such as Lauren Rootree, Miracle Rootree, Jim Rootree, had physical media such as record albums, books, and movies associated with them. Lauren's 2 diaries were probably the most useful resources overall, mentioning many of her relatives directly. Yes, they were. 5 pieces, Elias' children could be identified based on the initials of the original candy flavors. 5 presidents of the Rootree Company, many featured in periodicals. Stephanie Jones and Brian Jones were featured in campaign posters and led to Caroline Morden's art book, which enabled you to fill out more of the tree. Honestly, I think Brian Jones let me fill out more of the tree than Caroline did, but it's fine. They both cut out. Many of the younger Roottrees were found by following a complex rabbit hole through a conspiracy site that led to finding a searchable web address for Chris Rafferty, Lauren's grandson. Yes, because he wound up being an artist with some pictures of his distant cousins. November Roottree was really difficult to place. Her occupation could only be found in Brian Jones's company website. It wasn't that difficult. Ron and his brother Robert go by Ron and Robbie. Both worked on a TV show called Brother Trouble. Robbie embezzled money and fled to Paris. Ron unsuccessfully tried to have him removed from the trust. Sam and her father were cryptically mentioned in a book about historical letters. I missed this. You had to search for Patricia Christensen. If you did a web search for her, it led to a book about Patsy, or Patch. She went by Pat C.H. Christensen. And in the book that she wrote, it was basically letters that she wrote to Elias Jr. It mentioned having a twisted twin, how her daughter was ripped away and given to this twin, and that really kind of blew up in some of the main shit. But we missed it. We just took some guesses, based on other stuff. We didn't know he was a twin. We just knew he was gay and a member of the family. There were also a few dead ends. Aloysius Herring Rootree, or Red Herring. Family Man, book about Elias Rootree, turned out to be propaganda, not useful. Lauren's other books, historical romance novels, not very useful, though they could lead to other information. Caroline Morden's sculptures were not useful. But we have 8 new intuition here. Last bit of evidence, just a recap of where we are right now. Whew, boy, actually, there's some stuff here that I do need to read. Clark Rafferty LaRue is the current president of the company, explaining that multiple people have come out of the woodwork claiming to be Roottrees. He's been trying to work with Sam, but she won't answer his calls. He also handed you a letter that said you could share with Sam that said the following to both of you. The company I hired to help us with the Clanson Trust is busy pouring through the entire family's history as well as people that may have had contact with. That said, the family is not particularly happy with this and are doing their best to slow things down. Many of them are directly avoiding our interviews. Every time there's a high-profile public case, it causes headaches, so please, I don't mind if you do your research, but I ask that you stop going to the press. Instead, we have a highly trained team of lawyers to back you up. We're ready and willing to verify anyone and everyone you believe could be realistically part of a relationship that led to a birth of a new Rootree. Just tell us who to investigate by filling in the new sections of the tree, and we'll take the time to handle verifying that the timeline checks out. But keep in mind why we're here. If someone doesn't have a child or has already been disqualified by our lawyers, like in the case of the girl with the negative DNA test, there won't be a place for them on the tree. We're not just looking for affairs and infidelities, we're only looking for the ones that led to potential new Roottrees. So there may be affairs and infidelities out there that did not result in children. So maybe Carl, maybe Clark, who knows. Some spots in the new section will be marked with a tree icon. Those areas are reserved for members of the original family tree that you filled in 8 months ago. Just like last time, be sure to use birth names for everyone you add. Married names or nicknames won't be enough. To start filling out the infidelities, I recommend you turn your eyes to the men in positions of power. I'd love to say that's only because it would have been a lot harder for the women to hide 9 months of pregnancy and birth without the family noticing, but I can't. Interesting. I'll be blunt. I'm no stranger to infidelity. I wish I could claim that I was a perfect husband, but you've seen the family tree, so why pretend? Some of us learned how to wield our family name and fortune to our benefit. Consequences be damned. I can't change the past or unhurt those people who I betrayed. Instead, all I can do is be honest with myself and to you. Refuse to make any more mistakes, and do my best to sort out the various messes we've left behind. So please, fill in the tree. And together, we can figure out how we can both make amends. Good luck, and thank you both, Clark. All right. Start on the notable events list. 6 pieces. This is the book. I could go to the internet, and maybe I should. I think I should. But I'm eventually going to wind up at the library. Because it has a full name. 6 Pieces Unwrapping America's Sweetest Family. We're going to copy that. Oh, you know what you could do? I learned this by watching a different stream. I was excited to watch YouTuber that I like play this game. If I hit highlight here, it creates a page here, which is fine, but I can link back to the thing that got me this information, which is super helpful. I can just click this and it'll take me back to the website, the periodical, whatever. So it's going to be faster. By Sam Madsen in 99. Shot to the top of the charts. Reviews were mixed. Based on the bestsellers list, it was limited to only 2 months. Reviewers agreed that the core of the book about Sam's fathers and the struggles they faced was compelling, and that the takedown of hypocrisy by Elias Roottrees was deserved, but they took umbrage with the timing and release in the tone of the book, which seemed vindictive. Fallout from the book led to the Roottrees company scrambling to release a statement, and due to the conflict of leadership, famously released multiple conflicting official statements over 3 days. I'd love to read these statements. The confusing move was referenced in popular culture due to a late-night sketch about indecisionitis. Let's copy that down. But more traditional analysts have been calling it the Roottrees Rift. I'm going to actually make a highlight on both of those. A few months later, due to Roottreemania, the book re-entered the charts and sold even better than the first time. Let's search for this. It'll probably come under Roottrees Rift. Okay. Indecisionitis, a disease coined by popular sketch show as part of a fake pharmaceutical advertisement for Jit Together. While the segment isn't fully about the Roottrees Candy Company, it was released in the weeks after their bizarre response to release of 6 Pieces by Sam Madsen, references the recent news. A woman ordered a number 5 at a drive-thru, and then pulling forward, she changed her mind at the window, asking to switch to number 3. This caused a lengthy build and backup and annoyance. Pulled away as the employees began helping other customers. Same woman then barged into the restaurant past the current line, complaining that she didn't receive her number 5. After this, the sketch transitioned from the restaurant scene to a pharmaceutical commercial. A doctor claims the woman was suffered from indecisionitis, a disease that causes extreme confusion and irritability, recently been found to severely hinder the leaders of large corporations, but could also spread to humans. That's very funny. Jit Together, fake pharmaceutical drug. Testimonials use the catchphrase, when I can't make my tough decisions, I gotta get my jit together. I.e. shit together. Final testimonial includes a bald man in a silhouette with a voice changer saying, I'm not comfortable sharing who I am, but I'm comfortable saying that before I took over my family's candy company, I really should have gotten my jit together. So clearly a jab at Clark. Yeah, just leads back to this. Okay. Is there anything here? Probably not. Didn't seem like, it seems like some added information, but not anything that's going to help me. Let's go to the book. 6 Pieces Unwrapping America's Sweetest Family by Sam Madsen. All right. Sam Madsen's book was released earlier this year. The details, the truth about Elias, as well as Sam's fathers Edward Clancy and John Miller. You helped verify her story, so much of the book's contents are familiar to you. However, she had some sections on other family secrets and rumors. Much of it didn't matter the primary purpose of the book. Some of it's new to you and may be important to your new search. These sections have been added to your notes. Let's take a quick look. 6 pieces. Here is the book. We don't need to take pictures of what is probably Edward Clancy and John Miller in the background, probably. Different passages about her own story, companies, rumors, gossip. Ran the farm in 1968 after the death of Elias Roottrees until her daughter, so Elias died in 68. That might be important. Maybe not. Her daughter Gwyneth took over in 84. Let me just leave that here and change this. Can I change this to say Sam? Nope, I cannot change something that I've highlighted specifically. That's fine. Most of the relevant rumors coincide with the reign of Guy Hudson, who took over as president in 78. Sam was not a fan of Guy, and according to Six Pieces, it was an open secret within the family. Guy was very much not a fan of remaining faithful to his wife, Patricia. Many of their hires at the time were young, single women, and Guy often spent a lavish amount of money on private parties. That was 20 years ago. Sam warns that most of it's hearsay. Still, you find the following information that may be relevant. One of Sam's farm supervisors was named Elizabeth. Elizabeth had a daughter who Sam never met, but who worked as one of Guy's secretaries. According to Elizabeth, a caterer from a local restaurant called Antonelle's met her daughter at one of Guy's parties, and they eloped quickly due to a pregnancy. Okay, so Elizabeth had a daughter who Sam never met. She worked as one of Guy's secretaries. Caterer met them. They eloped quickly due to a pregnancy, meaning that Elizabeth's daughter was pregnant, and they eloped with a caterer. Elizabeth wasn't aware that the party was for swingers. Guy's parties, got it. Rumor has it her daughter showed up with Guy and didn't seem comfortable switching partners. Got it. So it's possible that Elizabeth's daughter got pregnant by the caterer, but she said she didn't feel comfortable switching partners. So it's possible she was already pregnant, didn't realize it. Let's create our own note about Elizabeth. Elizabeth and her daughter. Elizabeth's daughter was a secretary for Guy Hudson, probably pregnant by Guy, possibly not. Married a caterer from Antonelli's. Save note. Guy's main positive contribution to the company involved expanding the markets previously untapped by Roottrees. However, when he went on trips overseas, they were often for weeks at a time. Guy was known for spending more time and money on unofficial business than meetings with distributors and manufacturers. Said that he bribed at least one politician to open a factory in Brazil. I'm just going to highlight that. Factory in Brazil, politician. This might show up in the news or something, or a periodical. Sam speculates that Elias may have also cheated on Gwyneth. Interesting. Okay, that could make him the earliest one. Gwyneth was always much kinder to Sam than Elias was, and he was the first to invite Sam to family events. While she has no hard evidence, she always got the impression that Gwyneth was able to coerce Elias into allowing Sam back into the family using some kind of leverage instead of it being a natural course of events. She mentioned Elias and Gwyneth were known to loudly argue, sometimes about another woman. Let's highlight that. Sam says her son Ernie once asked her, "Who's Beth?" Let's actually change the highlight to that. If I highlight a different portion, it'll change where the highlight is. Super helpful. Overheard him yelling about someone with that name. As far as Sam knows, Elias once had a secretary named Elizabeth, a different Elizabeth than the supervisor from the farm, but she never met her. Beth might be Elizabeth, but not the same one as Guy's fling. Someone as the mother of infidelity. Boom. Okay. Lots of threads to pull on. Let's search the internet. Well, first, let's take a look down here. So, possible infidelity one, let's say Elias. To get started, click on Faces in my Evidence tab. Do I need to, like, recollect Elias's picture? This is more new information, so maybe I shouldn't dive into that yet. Archived evidence. Thank you. This is all the archived evidence, including the book that I did not get before. It gave me everything that I could have possibly unlocked in that first game. I got most of it. But let's take that famous picture of Elias and Gwyneth. Can I not? For fuck's sake. Okay. Fine. Apparently I need a new picture. Let's talk about possible Elizabeths. But we don't know the last name. Elizabeth Unknown. Interesting. They've made it more difficult. You can't just pick a name and be like, oh, it's Beth, so it must be Beth Stevenson. This is an unknown Elizabeth. And my notes state another woman, but it doesn't state what that woman did. Fine. Let's look at Elias Roottree. It's a thread we can pull on. Classic faces associated with the Roottrees Candy Company has always been in somewhat high regards. Elias's intention is a family man with his family brand. However, since 6 Pieces, the Candy Company has placed much less of an emphasis on Elias as a historical brand-connected figure, but there have also been those who've argued it was his right to decide how to split his inheritance and that he did nothing wrong. Fucking MAGA. Those are the people arguing that shit. Heated television exchanges and countless op-eds. Op-ed means opinion editorial. It's a newspaper term, just in case people don't know. First, Anderson Maple Farm only used to be a popular tourist attraction during the summer months when it's special tourists. Now, it's seen an explosion of off-season business. Some religious and political groups decided to show support for their traditional values and financial rights. Rise in support is in turn followed by pickets from gay rights activists, and some particularly inflammatory organizations made their pilgrimages. Amongst all the conflict, the farm has since shut down seemingly indefinitely, saying check back later, has no date listed. The quotes from Bess Williams' book appear to have been taken down. We did look at that book, and it was useless back then. I doubt I can get it without the title. Family Man? Yeah. Reprinting an old book about Elias Roottree, it's blatant corporate propaganda. But it is in my current evidence, which includes a picture of Elias Roottree that I can add to the thing. I'll go back and read that in a sec. Look at that. Fucking nailed it already, man. The lawyer for one of your wife's uncles, he passed away with no family and no will in California, so they had the lawyer trace his family tree to find his relatives. That's interesting. It seems like such a dull premise for a game. Oh, you're doing genealogy, but it's actually fucking great. I said the same thing back when I played Obra Dinn. I'd pay $20 a month for a new episode of this every month. It's great. I'm glad this one has a bonus. Alright. Propaganda is information, biased, misleading. The dictionary defines propaganda as information, especially biased or misleading, used to promote or publicize a particular point of view. But they would replace that definition with a picture. It would be this book. It tells you nothing new about Elias, and from what you know of his true feelings towards some of his extended family, you're not sure it tells you anything true about Elias either. The reissue of this book was so lazy that they reused the famous photo of Elias from Business Watch, whose copyright had expired. The best thing it has going for it is that it's only 85 pages long, but it is still connected to 2 things. Bess Williams. If she wrote such a great book about him, maybe Bess instead of Beth. Is that an option? It is. Now, they did say, not every name will be used on the tree. Curious. Author born in the late 1800s, lived just outside Miami, died tragically. Minor family history with the Roottrees. Her notable book is considered blatant propaganda, all but forgotten until recently when it was released during the height of Roottreemania, which I might want to search for. A site dedicated to hurricane statistics also mentions Bess Williams. The Bocadoro Library, not far from where she lived, was partially destroyed in the hurricane. When they rebuilt, they named the non-fiction section after her. The library was expanded again in 1950 and closed in 1963 when multiple larger libraries opened in the surrounding area that made it redundant. Let us search for this. Oops. Aha! A JPEG. It no longer exists. You find multiple libraries in the area. According to the website for the library system in Miami, the building where it was once at is now the Miami Print Museum. Searching for the Print Museum, you come across their website stating their hours and exhibits. The building is very small, admission is free, and they only have room for a few different displays. One of the exhibits is their courtyard, which includes a fountain as well as a statue of an unknown author. The picture has been added to your evidence. Another is a printing press that was used by the Miami Sunday, a now defunct weekly newspaper. The last is the original print of Cuba by Cubans, an art book. I'm just going to take a look here. A book of paintings of Cuba released in '63, credited to Marcia Barban. Doesn't seem related to your search in any way at first glance. Oops. Out of print, no copies available. On second glance, it still doesn't seem related to your search anyway. Fine, I'll take that hint. But the statue in front of the Miami Print Museum, it sits in the courtyard, and according to the site, is said to be of an unknown author. But I could take a picture of it, because I'm willing to bet that is Bess Williams. That is quite a reach. I don't know if I would take that bet. Doubtful. But we can put it all in there and see what happens. After all, she sure did love Elias. Let's go back to some other threads we can pull on. Six pieces. Let's actually look up Sam. Sam has definitely gotten popular. Okay, we already did. The Roottree Rift. Let's pull that thread. 3 press releases from the Roottrees Candy Company after the release of 6 pieces were referred to as the Roottrees Rift due to the clear conflicts between them. First, fairly standard. There is no president of the Roottrees Company. The entire family is made aware of the release of the book. They'd be meeting as soon as possible. Only then could they verify legitimacy of the claims it raised and decide on the next steps. Fairly standard. That sounds like a great press release. This is clearly bullshit. Who sent this out? Second release, emailed to business newspapers 3 hours later, announcing after a vote, Ron Roottree would be taking over temporarily as an interim president. It went on to state that Ron was aware of the book, had verified the claims within, and would be look into compensating Mrs. Madison and her family immediately. It stated that the company lawyers would be taking immediate steps with the family to revisit the Clancy Trust terms to make sure nothing like this could happen again. It was quickly clear to business reporters and analysts that the time between the 2 press releases would not have been logistically sufficient to gather the majority of the family, even using conference calls. This was reported on many news channels, and a third, much shorter press release came the next day, claiming a draft of the announcement was made prematurely, and Clark Rafferty LaRue and Ron Roottree would be taking over as the company's first joint presidents. It also stated that any compensation plan would be based on the stringent verification processes. So, is Ron Rootree, now a company president. Ron was announced the president of Rootree during the Rootree Rift, but the next press immediately reversed in the announcement and instead stated that Ron and Clark would take over. A few weeks later, Ron was dropped from the title entirely. There are hundreds of results about this development, but most articles are a retelling of basic details. Some veer into heavy speculation based on an article about Ron in Business Watch. I'm going to pull that up. We will look at it in a moment. We're going to keep looking here. Ron has also done some interviews saying that the truth of what went on behind the scenes is not something he wishes to discuss. Instead, he hopes to release a movie about it someday. Ron's mother, Gwen, died in Paris, France. He and his brother, Robbie, have seemingly made amends. Well, that's nice. Business Watch. 2 months after the Rootree rift about what really happened with the Rootree, the article mentions nobody from Rootree that they reached out to was willing to go on record. Instead, the timeline of events has been constructed from public record, accidental leaks, and a source on the inside. Who's the source on the inside? Maybe Clark. He may be leaking stuff because he wants to move forward on finding proof. We'll see. Only parts that are new to you are the most vague parts, one supposedly confirmed by their anonymous source. The timeline says the family actually held a preliminary vote after Carl Rootree died, but before the release of Six Pieces, and decided they wanted Ron Rootree to take over because of his experience running RR Productions and because he was a well-known and well-respected Rootree. Okay. But Ron seemed way too eager and personally motivated. They were worried he would gut the Clancy Trust to remove Robbie Rootree, which would kind of conflict with the alleged hashing with his brother, but maybe that happened before. Family was notoriously unwilling to do anything that could risk their wealth. They stalled, and Ron became frustrated with the delay. When Six Pieces came out, he saw his chance to force action while the family was in the limelight and released the press release himself in an attempt to get the ball rolling faster. This caused chaos within the family. They tried to save pace by allowing Ron to take over as co-president, but according to Business Watch's source, Ron was impossible to deal with. He seemed like he was unwilling to protect the Clancy Trust, and they eventually let him go. The role passed solely to Clark, who nobody was excited about, but seemed like the safest choice. Awesome. Let's talk about Clark. Rafferty LaRue. I probably misspelled his name. Hold on. Can I do Clark Rootree? I know that won't work. Especially if I misspell it. Rafferty. Dash. LaRue. Okay. I don't know where the typo was, but I fixed it. Ooh, there's an older version in the Time Travel Archive. We're going to stay with the new one for now. As well as Ruby Spratt and her company, Ruby Legal Enterprises. Tell me more. We're going to highlight this. I guess this is kind of... Okay. You know what? Highlighting it anyway. I want to keep that information. Because Ruby Spratt is a woman with a company, legal firm, because they took over the Clancy Trust. It seems that Ruby actually approached the Rootrees sometime in late March after the Rootree rift, but well before Roottreemania. An accomplished but relatively low-profile lawyer, she offered to work for very little money so long as she could be a public face to build her reputation. Family quickly jumped at this chance, as many family members often attempt to spend as little as possible to keep their shares of the trust as high as possible. After looking over the trust more carefully than anyone had in years, Ruby came to the conclusion that Clancy Edwards' Rootree's implementation was not legally sound, and that there would be constant legal challenges without some modifications. The family decided to put her in charge of the trust both legally and as a public face to prevent further issues. Ruby Legal Enterprises has been described as a mix between a law firm and a PR firm. Her first move, as a sort of trial run before she was hired permanently, was to help them draft a public statement accepting Sam into the family and declaring that they'd begun to address the Clancy Trust. This went quite well, and they officially hired her in early April. Ruby Legal is now in charge of many financial aspects of the company, including verifying any claims to the trust and organizing various charitable causes such as scholarships that have been set up in the name of the deceased. That might be interesting. It might be nothing. But I'm going to go ahead and highlight that whole thing. All right, Ruby Legal. There's lots of places we can look for this. Let's start with Business Watch. Same. It's already highlighted. We're not going to find anything there. Butler County Times? Nothing. Wouldn't be in any of the other periodicals. So let's go to the internet and search there. We'll check this girl out as well. Can't find much about the company from before this year. Articles tell the same tale. After the fiasco of 6 Pieces and the revelation the Roottrees' internal law group was complicit in such a cover-up, they hired outside counsel. Ooh. Ties to multiple aspects of the Rootree Corporation, including the candy company and Root. They were recently in the news due to a high-profile lawsuit they raised against Cicely Sanchez. This might be the girl who turned out to not be a Rootree. Also, I'm going to look up Root later as well. Cicely Sanchez actually is an author best known for Portrait of a Changed Man, released in 1979. Her follow-up, Foreign Gospel, did not perform as well critically, but still sold respectably. I'm just going to highlight those, because I can look them both up. Biography of Van Gogh refers to her acclaimed fame, known for her non-fiction with a focus on exploring darkness in the human psyche. She appeared in a magazine called Picotti, we're going to get that, with an article about a book she had commissioned to write for Guy Hudson. Interesting. Magazine and Cicely herself were immediately issued a cease and desist due to its inclusion of pictures she never had the rights to publish. The issue was pulled from store shelves, making it an instant collector's item. However, this woman, Cicely Sanchez, wrote a book for Guy Hudson. We don't know what the book's name is, but maybe he had an affair with her. It's possible. We have somebody that needs banning if you're still here, Mertrick. Picotti is a category of flower with an outlined magazine. Hold on. There we go. Got a new periodical. No consistent theme, tabloid-esque articles, wide variety of audience, mainly in grocery stores and the checkout line. We all know this type, the fucking tabloids. Unlike traditional tabloids, it doesn't feature celebrities. It tends to latch onto and create sensationalist headlines about whatever subject appears to be popular. Beanie Babies, Magic Eye, Red Bull. It also comes under fire for printing fiction along with facts. It gets around this by stating in every issue that all articles are the hearsay that's fit to print. At one point, Pico T ran an article about Cicely Sanchez. The author claims to have had an unwritten book about Guy Hudson, not even the main focus of the issue, yet the magazine was threatened legally by the Rootree Corporation. That particular issue, Big Sass Seabass, was pulled from shelves. It's a collector's item, especially amongst conspiracy theorists attempting to figure out what the Rootree company was hiding. You find a recently finished online auction that lists a copy at over $1,000, though nobody bid. Let's hit the periodicals. We want Big Sass Seabass from Pico T. We've got a excerpt. An issue that focused on talking toy fish and the demonic messages it supposedly said as the batteries ran low. Pico T had an article, canceled book about Cicely Sanchez, Guy Hudson, pictures that Cicely did not have the rights to publish. Because of the pictures, the issue was pulled from the store shelves, making it the subject of conspiracies and an instant collector's item. Due to this recall, the version found in these archives is incomplete, unfortunately. However, here is the Pico T. It's got 8 potential clues. Basilblub. Basilblub. Beelzebub. The utensil that'll help you lose 80 pounds or 50 pounds. I can't tell. Unless you want to read about a potentially demonic fish toy. Okay. 8 clues from this thing. It's got to be about the girl, right? Cicely Sanchez. Maybe we could find these pictures somewhere else. Crazy, I'm sure. No. Let's look up public library. We did have a list of some of our other books, right? Man, we've made a bunch of these already. Portrait of a Changed Man. And then Foreign Gospel. What if everything you stand for, disappearing influence, politics, relationship, gone? Would you still be you? It's a true story about a man who woke up after being saved from drowning in his backyard pool. Entirely different person. You won't be able to put it down without wondering, what if it were me? Seems like useless. Did I copy the other one? No. Idiot. Foreign Gospel. I will type the L in manually. Catholic Church. Told by God he should travel to Thailand and began to preach. To convert 10,000 people. Returned to the United States after 2 years, claimed to have succeeded. Author traveled to Thailand to investigate his claims, talk with some of the so-called converted. Again, no information there. I bet the name of the book is buried somewhere, and we can get it. But I don't know how. Alright. We haven't collected evidence from Guy Hudson yet. Have we? Probably not. Oh, here we go. During Roottreemania, he suddenly rose to prominence after 5 Ps appeared on the cover of a magazine holding a photo of Guy and his mother. It doesn't say what magazine. We will have to go further here. Highlight. Few people existed adjacent to the company in the 70s come forward with stories about debauchery and swinger parties. He liked to throw holiday parties whenever he had an excuse, and they got out of hand. Butler County Police. We might have to go back to the Butler County magazine and search for Guy Hudson again. Litigation, anyone trying to disparage him or the company. Let's talk about 5 Ps. We know that 5 Ps is a Roottrie. DNA evidence has confirmed it. So he's showing up somewhere on the list. We don't know where, but it probably is from Guy Hudson. Felix Fellows. We're going to search for him later. A rapper who found some recent radio play after being publicly confirmed as a long-lost Roottrie and entitled to part of their fortune. His alias is a play on 5 pieces. In an article, you find a website known for their particularly harsh reviews of modern music. Okay. Let me just quickly... Modern Music Monthly, 5 Ps. Oh, I'll actually search Felix. Nope, that didn't do it. Nothing. Damn. Alright, we'll figure that out. Root of All Evil is the name of his album. 1 star out of 7 for whatever reason. More poser than my action figure collection. Review mentions his real name is David, and he used to go by Dirty Davey. Let's see if that's on Modern Music Monthly. Probably not. Nope. This is a lot of information, though. Rebranding was blatant marketing at the expense of his mother's tragic past. She overdosed when he was 16. One of the songs on the album is new, the others were rewritten to turn blatant references to sex, drugs, and violence into clumsy euphemisms. Let's highlight that area. And we will see if we can get Dirty Dave's original. Copying my name, Dirty Dog! His rise to prominence was kickstarted when he appeared a few months ago on the cover of News Time, holding a photo of his mother with Guy Hudson. At first, the Roottrie Company denied it vehemently. Miracle even appeared on the same magazine a week later. But then, they've backtracked and publicly welcomed him into the family. Their press release at the time stated they had new evidence that confirmed his story. So, we'll come back to that one. We're getting News Time. Boom. We're going to look for 5 Ps, and we're going to look for Miracle. Record subscriber numbers last until the end of Roottreemania. Appears to be available in your periodical. I'll Back-to-back discourse, Roottreemania. Still haven't searched for Roottreemania. We're going to get there at some point, but we're pulling at all the threads right now. All right. News time. Dirty Davy. No. How about... News time? How about Miracle Roottree? Miracle Roottree appeared on the cover of News Time denying Felix was a Roottree. It's been added. Let's talk about Felix Fellows. Famously appeared on the cover of News Time, kicking off Roottreemania. Then a week later, Miracle Roottree appeared on it. Summarily, both articles, as well as a close-up of the photo 5 pieces holding on the cover, have been added to your evidence. All right. Guy Hudson. Third president of the company. No picture currently available to add here, but we'll get one eventually. One of his affairs resulted in a rapper, and I'm gonna say she died when he was 16. Didn't mention a father at all. We can look at some of this shit. Oh yeah, here's a picture that's been enhanced. Felix Fellows. Could this rapper be the next Sam Madsen? We'll come back to the information there. I just want to grab pics right now. There's Guy. And Roottree Family Picnic. Roottrees Family Picnic. Joanna. When she was Zach Borden's secretary at a company picnic. Okay, hold on. Curious Bee, Roottree Picnic. Nothing. Roottree Family Picnic. And company picnic. None. Okay, no worries. Didn't really expect much out of that. Guy Hudson. He's the baddie. Maybe it's his first affair. He was not president yet. If it was, she got married, or maybe was married. Ooh, she may have been married. Oh, this is a star. Notable Roottree. That's got to be him. Okay, yes, this is it. Her name is Joanna. Sorry, Joanna. And it was Davy... Shit. Oh. Fuck. David Decker Jr.? Hold on. Go back. Felix Fellows. This is in periodicals. We want to go back to Spidey search. Sorry. Sorry. His real name's David. He used to go by Dirty Davy. But we don't know the last name at the moment. Not from here. May have been in one of the others. Or maybe in one of these evidence things. Let's check both. Alright. Unless maybe his name is Fellows. Maybe that is the last name. And it's David Fellows. Yeah, okay. David Fellows. Done. Joanna Fellows. May not have been her real name. She was probably married and had an affair. That's what caused them to split up. She killed herself when he was 16. He is a musician. Not a very good one. Got some information. Let's see what we get in there. Well, we've confirmed that Elias did... Oh, my theory about Bess Williams right out of the park. She wrote such a glorious review about her idol Elias because she was also stooping him. And we managed to get, of course, Guy Hudson and David. But this, that was a shot in the dark. Getting it locked in. really helpful. And we're going to talk to Clark, probably. No, it's Sam.
Has Clark reached out to you? Well, let me give you a short history lesson about the last few months of my life.
We're going to try to find out that maybe Clark's intentions aren't as good, at least by Sam's reckoning.
3 different people contacted me, claiming that somewhere in their history, they might be Roottrees. First, that young man, the rapper. I ignored that one. He seemed dubious. But then I saw the news. I felt terrible. So I began helping the others. Because my doubts with Felix were so misfounded, I ended up putting too much faith in the second person that approached me. I went to the media prematurely. I admit my mistake there. But the third person who contacted me also had a credible case. Before I could help, the company got to them somehow. The fact that the family silenced them doesn't seem to fill me with hope when it comes to Clark's intentions. But you're making progress based on the leads he gave you. It's really hard for me to get a read on him. I'll let you handle it. I've sent you the case I've been working on.
Regina
and some company
Clementine.
records I managed to track down.
Mary Beth Clementine, company records. We got all sorts of new threads to pull. And we're nowhere near done with the originals.
The records are quite dense, but hopefully they're useful. Good luck.
All right. Guy Hudson. Johanna Fellows. Actually, probably not her real last name. We will look that up. But, yeah, no. We don't know anything about his dad. We'll try to find that information out from what we were given. Elias Roottree and not Beth Williams, was misheard. Heard it through a door or something. They had an affair. And within that affair, a whole fucking tree of people we will try to reach back up with. Now, let's go with the evidence we were just given. Actually, let's go with the evidence we still were working on. Zach Morden's secretary when he retired, and Guy Hudson's secretary for 1 or 2 weeks after that before she quit. The first few weeks he was president. His parents divorced when he was 4, after his father learned of the affair. Because he found out his son wasn't actually his. Felix and his mother moved to Portland because she was afraid for her and her son's life. He grew up with her till he was 16, but one day his mother never came home from the movie rental store where she worked. They found her dead from an overdose in her car. She'd stolen all the cash from her drawer and spent it on heroin. As Felix went through her belongings, the only thing he had to remember her by was a hairbrush she always used, some photos, and a stuffed animal from her childhood. But then he found it, a box hidden in the back of her closet, love letters and photos related to Guy Hudson, as well as a letter from his father containing threats. He threw it all away with the exception of one photo that he appears with on the cover of News Times, says it was the only one from where they were dressed. Oh God! The only one where they were dressed, the only one not from the affair itself. Pictures shown in full inside the magazine was added to your evidence. Okay. So his father threatened to kill him. Well, her, anyway. Or at least she was afraid that he would. Born to Riley and Joanna Fellows. Well, that fucking helps. His father is Riley. We don't know Joanna's maiden name yet. Never rapped without a moniker. Tried to find success by opening for other artists and even by selling CDs on the street corners in Portland. Harnessed the power of his lineage. Writer did some research into the truth of these claims, confirmed that Joanna did work for the Roottrees Company as a secretary in the mid-70s. She died of an overdose, and Felix went on to foster care soon after. They were unable to track down his father. Reached out to the Roottrees Company, but the moment the company's blanket statement was, since the release of the book, nothing factual, dishonest, encourage individuals to reach out to us in official capacity as opposed to attempting to use our name in the media for publicity. Secretary. Unknown last name. But we do have a picture of her. Let's leave it as Fellows for now. I'm sure we'll get her last name at some point. That was his first affair. We've solved one. What else do we have? We have Miracle. The original! Not even a junior. He's clearly ancient, and we're going to take a picture. Charlatans and thieves! Not in my day. No, I was born blind, and I can still see that they're lying. What's that? DNA? Never heard of it. Oh, fuck. Miracle didn't focus much on the details of Five Pieces' accusation and comes across exhausted at the events that have been going on behind the scenes, as well as the character of those he feels are attacking his family. Although if based in fact, it left out anything that wouldn't fit with the agenda. Sam's daughter still earns a generous salary from overseeing the farm division. Sam did the same before her. Her family was not destitute. That really was her own son who told take a job with no salary. He claims that although they didn't have to, the family helped pay for her son's medical bills after voting and that it was the right thing to do. We know that Carl had a lot to do with that. The story about his father Elias shunning EC was one-sided, leaving out Edward Clancy's blame in the whole thing. Elias gave him a simple ultimatum: stop sinning or be disowned. Miracle says it was EC's own choice, and Elias allowing him to earn a food and shelter at the company's dime was a kindness. What a douchebag, especially considering that he and John continued to live together in sin! Miracle pivots to the fallout from Six Pieces. He recounts a deluge of claims that the clans and trusts that the family has been subjected to. No specifics. Every time someone comes forward, the family devolves into arguments. They had to hire an outside legal team. Laughably false. All they do is tarnish his family's reputation. Grifter! Delinquent! Laudanum! It exposes the world to hatred. Five Pieces' lyrics are violent, sexist, ungodly. I pray he'll repent. Retract his lies. Find Jesus. Miracle states that those who wish to hear the true story can join him on his farewell tour in the upcoming fall. Country's churches one last time, now that at age 71 he's the oldest living Rootree. While he plans to continue preaching at his own church in Butler County after the tour. Ooh, he's got a church in Butler County. We'll see if we can figure that out. Your last chance to hear the truth from a man with the most complete recollection of one of America's most notable families in your own hometown. The article mentions his son does not wish to comment because he knows the fucking truth. And a statement from Clark Rafferty LaRue. Miracle does not speak for the entire family. We're working carefully on a plan to definitively disprove any claims of infidelity. The article does not refute Miracle's claim that he's the last... what a dick. He still does not accept Sam as being part of the family. Because Sam has been born a year before him. Ignorance or spite? I think spite. I think he's just a dick. Let's talk about that church and the tour. Real quick. Spider search. Miracle Roottrees. Going on tour. 3 generations of miracles. Uh-oh, a child has entered the room.
Yeah.
Plug in your phone.
Yeah.
Good night. Ow, my foot. A knee, actually. Ow. Be part of history. The oldest living Rootree reprises and retells his incredible true story. Grew up as one of the Five Pieces, living a life of wealth and luxury. Nothing compared to the powerful force of the Almighty. Doctors determined he was destined to die young, but fate had different plans. Long and fruitful life. He's in his 70s, aging, difficult chance to see him in town before he settles back down in Pennsylvania. In this intimate evening, Miracle will reminisce about his famous history, discuss the family's saints and sinners, and provide a unique perspective on one of the most notable families in the United States today. Learn what originally drove him away from his fortune and into the arms of religion, and learn how his life has become more wealthy in spirit than it could ever have been from his inheritance. It lists the churches that will be appearing in and mentions that tickets can be purchased at their local services. Noticeably absent are any mentions about Miracle's news appearances. Let's talk about the tour. 3 generations of miracles. Same. Previous flyer has been replaced. Periodicals. Butler County Times. Page hasn't been updated for at least 8 months and may now be irrelevant. Oh, Christ. Any attempts to find more about these legal troubles is thwarted. What about just Miracle Rootree? Now, legal troubles, all the same. Yeah. Butler County Church, just the word church. Nothing. Yeah, I'm not sure. Alright, we'll come back to this one. But we did get a picture of Miracle. Did he have an affair? In 1949? I originally thought about his son, who's been kept quiet. What if he comes out saying this shit? Because he's trying to keep his little infidelity a secret. It's a theory. We don't know this shit. This is going to happen way later, I think. All right. So much to do. Let's check this Regina Clementine email. From 6pieces at prodigy.us to genealogygenie at prodigy.us. That's me. This is all the information I have about Regina Clementine. Nee Salazar? Maiden name? Salazar? From Nolans. Her husband, Stuart Clementine. Okay. N-E-E must be, like, maiden name Salazar. Regina Salazar, husband, Stuart Clementine. Highlight. The Roottrees warriors went after her and silenced her. She couldn't cooperate anymore. Her husband, who's a police officer and never knew his father, told her he thought he might be a Roottrees. Oh, okay, so he's the Roottrees. But he's estranged from his family and didn't want to pursue it because he had no proof. She wrote to me behind his back. Normally I wouldn't be so sure, but she had some pretty credible facts. From what I've able to gather, Stuart's mother was named Mary Beth Clementine. Well known in the 30s to 50s, a singer who went to tour a lot of churches. This is it. Mary Beth Clementine. A singer. We found her. It is Miracle. Now we just need a picture of her. Oh, actually, I think we already have one. You can look her up online, and she was a pretty big proponent of adoption. Curious. Let's talk about Stuart. Stuart Clementine and his wife, Regina Salazar. Okay. Let's do it as a cop. I'm so smart. I'm so smart. Yeah. You can look her up online. She was a pretty big proponent of adoption. Butler County a few times. Regina said that Stuart told her that they always seem to spend a lot of time at the Miracle Church. Fucker. She sent me a photo to prove that she's who she says she is. I've attached it in the email. Please consider saving a tree and not printing this email. Whoops. We fucking did that anyway. All right, we got some great fucking leads here. Number one, this is her. Regina Clementine's husband's mother. One of these two. Stuart's the older boy wearing a vest. What do you think this is? Take the little boy as well. She may have had another child. All right. Mary Beth. Unknown spouse. Actually, the spouse is probably the one watching from afar. And her original name is probably not Clementine. Son of a bitch! That's okay. We will find out her original name. Her married name is Clementine. She split up with her spouse when he found out about the miracle bullshittery. We have a young picture of Stuart. That is his name. That is his job. That is his wife. Unless they broke up over here, but I doubt it. Well, actually, I mean, it's possible. It doesn't say anything about having children. I think this is probably the end of that. I will need a few more leads to lock in before... So, because we know Joanna Fellows... I'm going to remove it. No, leave it. We know that that's not her name. We know that's not her name. We just got to find their fucking name. Confidential file might have it. Partial staff records to cross-reference. Also, I want to check out the Miracle Church. Guys, secretaries and visits overseas. Spider searching people just because they are listed in these books will likely be very time-consuming and a waste of your time. Their corporate office. Edward Roottree. Lloyd Carpenter. Carl Monroe. Elizabeth Cravensworth. Joanna. Elizabeth. I feel like Elizabeth Cravensworth is important. I just don't know where yet. Well, okay. One of Guy's secretaries was an Elizabeth. Let's just list it in here. It's a long shot right now. President Zach, Special Management Ernie. Office staff. Edward Roottree, the lawyer. Lloyd Carpenter. Don't remember. Carl Monroe. Not sure. Elizabeth Cravensworth. Zach's secretary. No, that doesn't make sense. Because Joanna was Zach's secretary. Keep going. Maybe it's somebody else in the list. Maybe there's a Joanna. Where am I going? Here. Back in here. Product management. Secretaries. Okay, my bad. Juliet McCullen. Joanna Robertson. Okay. My mistake. I am so sorry. We'll got you now, Robertson. There. That's her. Husband Riley. This is gonna lock in once we get enough. We want to know about Mary Beth, but that will happen only at the church, not this list. Farm and Manufacturing, Sam, John, Elizabeth, Farrow. There's so many Elizabeths. Eli C., Roottrees, Fred Cross, Albert Cross, Douglas Rosenberg. All these people are potentially important. Stewart. Michael Crane, Jack Keating's major expenses, none. There's only one link here, and I believe that that is because of Joanna Robertson. I think all the rest of this is red herrings. But maybe not. Maybe we'll come back to it at some point. Let's take a look at that church. Fine. Let me just make sure it's not case sensitive. Alright, and then let me look it up in the Butler County Times. Damn. I'm gonna search some other periodicals for that one. Wouldn't be in this. Maybe under Business Watch, but I doubt it. That is not a red herring, damn it! Fuck. Alright, let's go back to... From New Orleans. Mary Beth Clementine. She's pretty well known. We should search for her. Okay. Traveled around the country performing at churches. 1942 to 1959. That would put her 1949 in the correct time frame. Her repertoire of religious popular songs, recorded a few records. They seem lost to time. The only one you find mention of was He's Got the Whole World in His Hands. Released under the label New Edison. I'm going to highlight that. Because I'm going to come back to that later. Both of those things are searchable. Adoptions. She's listed on many sites that mention adoption in the history of adoption. She adopted 2 children in the late 40s, Stuart and Mark. Okay. Mark. Clementine. Unknown occupation. Quite possibly a second love child. Not sure, though. Although, I feel like it is, because this shit wouldn't be going. Also, we don't know. Stuart could be this... No, Stuart's definitely the older boy. So, he just doesn't have any children. Back to the internet. Do-do-doot. I'm all out of water. I'm all out of alcohol. It's a disaster here. She spoke as an advocate, benefits of adoption. Convening to debate and discuss the first adoption of an African-American child to a white family. Specifically there to detail her experience going through the adoption system to adopt Stuart. Her other son was adopted later, and according to a single line at her adoption site, under unusual circumstances. Maybe Stuart isn't a direct Roottrees, but Mark is? We'll find out. In '59, it surfaced that Mary Beth had been twice divorced. Both times to her manager, Sterling. This ended her career with the religious audience that she had been catering to, and while she performed occasionally since then, she mostly faded into obscurity. Mary Beth passed away in 1994 at the age of 76 of a stroke. Sterling Edson. Maybe she never took his name. Because she was a singer, because she was popular. Sometimes they don't do that. They keep their name even if they get married, because otherwise they have to, you know, fucking change shit. Now, that doesn't always happen. We talked about Diamond LaRue. Oh, Diamond LaRue? Didn't say that she changed her name. Blah, blah, blah. Talking too much. Not enough Googling. New Edison. Record label, Los Angeles. Cover records of songs gaining in popularity. Their founder, Sterling Edison. Biggest claim to fame is being sued by the estate of Thomas Edison in Edison Records versus Edsel. Because his name isn't Edison. It's Edsel. He just changed it to latch onto the popularity of Thomas Edison. Few references to New Edison and Mary Beth Clementine. Collector says the Holy Grail is the re-release of The Old Rugged Cross, and says that the first edition was originally published before she legally changed her name. The site claims the police had to be called to the New Edison records after its owner, Sterling Edison, got into a physical altercation in public, leading to a divorce. There are no cited sources or evidence, and the site's content seems user-submitted. There's an email address at the bottom. Send me your stories about old Hollywood, and I'll add them to the page. Okay. Yeah, I should probably look this up. That old rugged cross might be nothing, or it might be something. Edison Records was one of the first record labels named after Thomas Edison. The history of the company seems very unimportant, except for potentially a lawsuit they filed, Edison Records versus Edsel. A website about lawsuits mentions this is a fun case because the name of the lawsuit was actually the biggest problem for the person being sued. A record producer who called himself Edison was immediately outed as not actually being named Edison. Edsel was a German last name. At the time of the founding of the company, the US was at war with Germany. The company's founder immediately settled to try to get the case to go away, but the damage was done. And the label is New Edison. Got it. Okay. He's got the whole world in his hands. I feel like I've got to be able to get these. There must be maybe a magazine that I'll pull up. Just in case he went on to be a musician. Apparently not, because I've definitely got 4 people here, and maybe Mary Beth is wrong. Oh, she came to Butler County a few times. We should look up in Butler County times. There we go. Miracle Congregations, the Miracle Congregations Church. Mentioned 2 times. The first visit was more substantial. Miracle Congregation, well, see, maybe it's that, maybe not the way I had it written. Welcomes Mary Beth Clementine with an open arms. The article mentions the church leader was moved when he heard Mary Beth's recording of his favorite hymns, His Eye is on the Sparrow. My God, all of these are showing up. His Eyes on the Sparrow holds a very special meaning to me. As you know, I've had very difficult upbringing. It's no secret that my own eyes have always been a source of struggle. The song is about overcoming sadness and hardship through Jesus. If God can find a way to watch over every sparrow, he can certainly watch over those made in his image. My family's fortune does me no good. As a man of the Lord, it is much better spent spreading his word. And I felt a kinship with Mary Beth ever since I started porking her. Heard her voice. When I learned her personal story, I knew I had to help her in whatever way I could to get her pants off. The Bible is full of adoptions, from Moses to Esther. Spending your life taking care of those helpless to help themselves is incredibly noble. She and her son are welcome to stay in our guest home while I bang her. The second visit was a few years later, in 1953. The article mentions that her first visit was a massive success, and at the insistence of Miracle's congregation, she's returned for an encore performance. It also mentions that the unusual circumstances of her second son's adoption have prevented her from touring recently, but doesn't clarify. The first time that she came to Butler County, she already had a son, and that would be the older son. Her second son is a result of the love affair. That was what I was surmising. That Stuart is not Miracle's son, but Mark is. Okay. God damn it. God damn it! Ah, fuck! Ugh. Shit. Son of a bitch. I swear I'm gonna get that damn church's website or something. Ugh. Dead end. Crocodile Clementine. I knew it. Crocodile Clementine is listed on the website The Infamy List. It's a massive list of criminals who are known for odd crimes. Although Mark's nickname would apply, he hails from Florida. A lot of others on the list come from there, or Australia. Mark is listed as being from LA. He has a pretty big entry. He seems like a real piece of work. The Basket Baby of 1950. Everything else comes from his adulthood. Lost his job as a pilot. When he tried to board the wrong airplane's plane, he was drunk. He was charged with trespassing and assault. Pilot. And this is going to lock in. Damn it, it's because of Mary Beth. Not being named Clementine originally. Transporting smuggled animals over the Canadian and Mexican borders for an illegal reptile supplier in Los Angeles. Apparently quite successful for the first 4 years, but was caught when he had to make an emergency landing in Portland after he was bitten in the foot by a crocodile, hence the nickname. The Portland Telegraph is credited as having given him his nickname. His mugshot from the incident has been added to your photos. Released on parole, but his freedom didn't last long. He's arrested again for violating it, to visit his daughter's graduation. Famously punched the principal, a man named Billy Sims. Oh, so good. Alright, he has a daughter who graduated recently. We're gonna say she's over here. Unknown female. Nah, we can't really. She graduated, so she's got a job now, presumably. It was also 1994, so that would have been 5 years ago. Maybe on the other side, maybe married. We'll see. Let's talk about... First off, Basket Baby 1950 might be important, but I want to look up the Portland Telegraph. Added to the periodicals. Let's talk about... Beep. Basket Baby in 1950. Few sites, gospel singer named Mary once found herself dealing with a real-life Basil Moses situation that she created because, you know, she had it out of wedlock. Prominent supporter of the concept of adoption, someone decided to test how much, left a baby on the doorstep in a basket, adopted him without question, raised him as her own son. Although it wasn't national news, Basket Baby, none of the websites, women or baby were likely to prevent people from looking into either of the people too closely. Mary Beth Clementine would later be shunned due to her personal life, and her son Mark would later be known as Crocodile Clementine. Yeah. Also, let's check out the infamy list. Yeah, let's see. Let's check the periodicals. Portland Telegraph. Crocodile Clementine. His first major arrest, literally flying under the radar from Los Angeles, Juarez, and Vancouver. Bitten by a leg. I tried to tell him that he was a crop duster who somehow cut his leg on loose piece of metal in the cockpit. It seemed odd. Controllers quickly alerted the police without informing him. When he landed, they were raiding and he was arrested. Can't even ban bots anymore? Really? What the fuck? That's bullshit. This feels like a dead end. Nothing for Mary Beth. Yeah. Well, we did get it. Oops. We did get his mugshot. So he's got the bonus. I can add extra photos. We'll go ahead and slap that in there. Is criminal? No. Smuggler? Pilot was the last known actual job. Hey, Multnomah County Corrections Division. MULTNOMAH. Boo. It's a county in Portland, Oregon. Fair enough. You lost ass. Oh, that's right. I gotta re-promote you then. Hold on. Give me a second. That's important. Derp. There, you're now a mod. And I'm also going to ban this guy while I'm here. Done. Thank you, Merkdrake, for always being such a good and capable moderator. I appreciate it. Alright. I've got a bunch of other evidence things here. The confidential thing. Oh! Oh, fuck! It's got extra pages. It's the same shit, though. It's just, you know, new people showing up. Elias C. Roottree quit. Ernest Madsen, product management. Christine Farrow was hired. Joanna Robinson no longer listed, but Joanna Fellows. She got married in '96. Beth Knox are no longer employed. They left in 1997. Beth Knox did some shit. Christine Farrow is no longer listed, but there is a Christine Garland. John Miller is no longer employed. Gwyneth Madsen was hired. Major expenses, Beth Knox 50-year work anniversary bonus. Interesting. 50-year, though. Okay, never mind. And Zach Morton's retirement party. If she's 50, been working for the company for 50 years, it's highly doubtful that she was having an affair with a guy. She simply retired after 50 years. Well, 51, I guess. Oh, God. Jesus Christ, the secretaries they go through. Thomas Green, Michael Caine, Elizabeth Farrow, Jack Keatings, Emily Seinfeld, Sam Cottrell were hired, Robert Logan, William Sams, 5 pieces flavor department caviar. Ooh, what a spence. Presidential office refurbishment. Oh, Jesus Christ. Edward Roottrees retirement party. Christmas tree bash. New Year's Eve ball. Australia, China, France, Brazil. 5 pieces flavor development. Butterscotch. Caviar. 4th of July spectacular. New Year's Eve ball. Throwing all these parties. I don't think I'm going to get any information there until later. I think it's useful. I just think I need to be pulling on threads before I look for names. Fuck, though. Like... Well, I guess Roottreemania and Anonymom. But it's almost 11 o'clock. I said I'd stay up a bit later. Let's search for Roottreemania. Rot tree. Oh, before I do that, I need water. I'm dying of thirst here. I'll be right back. Ugh. Alright, we're back. I had to pee too. Had to take a quick tinkle. Alright. Let's take a look here. 5 Ps, Roottreemania. I'm a Secret Roottree episodes. Late night host jokes. Fill in your own name to find out if you're a secret Roottrie. It simply gave you a no with an image of Clark Rafferty giving you the finger. Oh, God. New printings of other Roottree-related media, including Lauren's diaries, VHS releases of Gwen's old movies, countless other unauthorized biographies, mostly seem to capitalize on the Roottree sisters, Carl and Brenda. Maybe, but probably not. Most of them are failures. Countless novelty shirts had variations of I'm a Secret Roottrie became immediately unfashionable, so some people still wear them, ironically. Uh-huh. Oh, she's in memory care. She has Alzheimer's. Minor backlash towards the reporter that tracked her down because they thought they were caught standing on a ladder and holding their camera over the privacy wall to take a photo of her and her son Clark Rafferty, sitting on a bench outside near a small pond on the premises. I wonder if that's going to show up in one of the tabloids. Like Picotti. No. How about fuck. I can't remember, so I guess I'll just search really quick through all of them, but I don't think any of them are going to have her. Irrelevant from Butler County Times. Itchy. Ugh. Okay. Alright. Failed. Porter. Helps if I could spell. Yeah, I didn't think so. It's not that complex. Yeah, I don't know that I'm going to be able to find anything more from that. Unless I want to look up the book again. Yeah, give me a diary. While revisiting the book, there's a single passage focused on potential affairs in her immediate family. You've added it to the rest of your evidence. Okay, cool. Back to... I can't click on them. I was open. Cruelty. Relationship between her father and mother. Redundant information previously been subject affairs may be more useful this time around. I'm no stranger to true love. Jacob and I married at an age that most deem unfit for marriage, but he was also enlisting at an age that most deem unfit for war. We had no choice. I knew in my heart that our marriage was one for the ages. He and I would still be together today if not for Okinawa. That was nearly 20 years ago, but there is an emptiness in my soul. I do not understand my contemporaries. So many girls I went to school with have taken multiple lovers. So many of my girlfriends' husbands have been unfaithful. If I'm to remain true to the ghost of a man with no chance of physical reciprocation, no potential for long-term conversation, how could it be so hard to love someone you can reach out and touch, someone you could joke with? I have not had to deal with such madness at home. My parents are a perfect match in the worst way. My mother's cruelty is a perfect fit for my father's general spite. In turn, Pop's status enables her incessant need to gloat and feel superior. We do know that she mentioned that Zach was fat, basically insulting him when he became president, so that's not a surprise that she's kind of a bitch. Cruelty, disdain for others my entire life, even my family remains unspared. And her pop was also the twin who was perfectly happy casting out his own brother because he was gay. So, yeah. They make fun of my grandpop and his family saying, blood is thicker than syrup, but nothing's thicker than Elias. They mimic Grandma Gwyneth's lisp and see her kindness as a weakness. Elias, Elias, please remember Tham. Not even our family's maladies and religion go unmocked. Remember, God only put one eye in Miracle. God damn. Jesus Christ, she's the worst person. They're too self-centered to look astray. Man. Her lisp. This is a hint at Bess. Because they thought she was saying Beth. But because she has a lisp. So it would come out Beth. Beth. But she was actually saying Bess. I figured all this shit out without even this obvious, well, clue. Yes. God only put one eye in Miracle. That's why this doesn't have any clues, because I already figured it out. Oh, fuck me. I can't believe this is still linked to so much. Cicely. Cicely Sanchez. Wait a minute. Don't we have a Sanchez? Yes. No, it was Salazar. My bad. Okay. Yeah. We looked at both of those books. We didn't find anything useful. The biography of Van Gogh, nonfiction, Pico T, Guy Hudson. Maybe you should cease and desist. If I go to this and I just search everywhere for Cicely Sanchez, probably won't find shit anywhere but Pico. Oh, actually, no. News Time covered the lawsuit between Ruby Spratt and Pico T magazine surrounding... Oh, so it is the new lawyer. Ruby Spratt. I should probably be searching for them everywhere. Didn't have the rights to distribute the photos of the magazine of Guy Hudson. Pulling their issue. This caused the issue to sell faster than any other in the magazine's history, even for a day. People would never have normally purchased it, went out to buy one just in case it would be worth something. Especially caught the eye of conspiracy theorists who assumed anything worth suing over would be hiding something. Unlikely Ruby could have had the story pulled if it had gone to court, and Pico T likely just got more eyes on it than they would have if the Roottrees just ignored it. I'll come back to that later, but let's check the others. We know about Pico T. That's where we basically found everything. Portland, Silver Screen, Starlit, and Team Blast will definitely not have anything. Let's go back to News Time and swap over to Ruby. It's the same entry. Copy that. Business Watch gave me information from Clark Rafferty. Same thing. Butler County Times, nothing. Modern Music Monthly, nothing. News Time, the thing we just had. Pico T, nothing. Portland. Whoa, wait a minute. She lived in Portland when she was in high school. Maybe Ruby is getting in there because she is a descendant. Portland. Mark. Clementine. Maybe you had a daughter here who got married to someone named Spratt. And then Ruby Spratt. Lawyer. It's possible. She's been brought up plenty of times. We're definitely going to look for... Actually, I guess this is probably the article below. Yeah. Make a change for foster care system. Like her grandparent. According to the article, Ruby Spratt grew up in the foster care system. Apparently the valedictorian of her school and was a Girl Scout who, at the time of the article, was earning her Gold Award. This required a project to help the community, and Ruby chose to raise money to build a fountain she called Foster Fountain. The fountain has a few small pedestals that stick up high above the water. People are expected to toss coins into the fountain for good luck and will be encouraged to aim for the top of the pedestals. All the coins scraped from the bottom are slated to be donated to Portland's foster care system. Coalition of local businesses that sponsor the fountain have committed to matching any of the donations successfully land on the targets. Aha! In the internet. The Fountain of the Youths, also known as Foster Fountain, is a fountain found in the small park in Portland. All proceeds from change thrown into the fountain are donated to the foster care system. Website for the Parks and Rec, trivia, Ruby Spratt, alumni of the foster care system, original hopes. Fountain is unique because it has special targets that visitors can aim their coin towards. Lands on one of these, sponsor matches it. Isn't a huge amount of money from each business, but more than 100 businesses have agreed to participate, so each penny becomes $1. Boy, this is a toughie. Oops, I missed the P. Yeah. No surprise. Foster Fountain. Periodicals. Ruby Spratt in Portland. It's no coincidence that the one that I think is genetically related to Miracle Roottree, Mark Clementine, was arrested in Portland. And this woman, the lawyer, Ruby Spratt, was also in Portland. Out of curiosity. Well, see, I wouldn't know what her mother's name is. Yeah, it doesn't have any info on it. When was he arrested? That was listed in one of the periodicals. It's probably on my journal. Okay. He was released in parole in 1993. Daughter's graduation in 1994. However, he was arrested in San Diego, not Portland. Billy Sims. Sandstone Canyon High School. Matter of fact, response to the threat and his comments afterwards, as heard in a now famous audio clip from someone who's recording the ceremony. Billy saw Mark hop onto the graduation stage and said, "Sir, you'll want to sit down or we'll have a problem." At that point, Crocodile reportedly sucker punched him in the face. Billy, apparently only slightly dazed, said, "All right, sir, I guess we'll have a problem." Sims anticipated it, performed a maneuver, wrestling move mixed with a backward somersault, which immediately brought both men to the floor, with Sims straddling Clementine, keeping him neutralized. How did you do that? Sims' response was famously, "Trust me, I'm as surprised as anyone." Sandstone Canyon High School, San Diego. Yeah, if he was attending a daughter's graduation in 94 and it's 99, I feel like that actually moves Ruby Spratt up. And her real name is Ruby Clementine. They have a child, unknown Spratt. And she married Spratt. We don't have her picture, but she's a lawyer. Child, baby. Who knows? I feel like that's more likely. However, she's probably the older daughter, and there's probably another daughter. If not, then Ruby moves over here. Regina Clementine's email. 5P's issue still has a link. Miracle issue still has a link. Notable events still has a link. Company records has tons. Reminders. There's 6 reminders. Let's search for Stephanie Jones. Fuck it. Why not, right? Just because. It's after 11. Yeah. It seems Brian Jones has been busy updating her campaign websites. 2 new sections exist. The first is baby photo. There, you see a picture of their new family together in the hospital. According to the site, our daughter was named after her grandmother, which ended up being very fitting considering she was born the night before Christmas. Noel? The second is what's next. Real quick here. Family tree update. We actually... Okay. It's not Noelle. Named after her grandmother. It wouldn't be... Alright, where's Stephanie here? Boop, boop. See, her grandmother would be Caroline. Oh! Instead of, like, you know, Carol. Carol. Last name Jones. Occupation baby. The root tree is, of course, Stephanie Landon, whose occupation was politician, and Brian Jones. We will get their pictures from probably this picture. This is an easy one. Easy thread. Maybe it'll help me lock in some of the fucking stuff that I've completed but don't know for sure. Lock in! What did we get? Miracle. Stewart. Clementine. Landon. Done. We also got Riley. Jones. Stewart. Picture. Booyah. Right, we got a new picture of Brian Jones. And we have a picture of the baby. That will help us lock in our next 3. Carol Jones. Alright. That was an easy one. All I had to do is search for one person. Feel like I should probably search for Chris Rafferty since he's got an extra pick here. But I think I'm going to wrap up. It is 11 o'clock. In spite of me wanting to play till midnight, I do have to get up and take the kids to school tomorrow. It's their last day, so... This is not correct. And that's because we don't know her fucking maiden name. But Edsel Sterling is correct. What else do we lock in? Yeah, that's fine. We can put Mark's other picture in. We know that's there. We don't have a picture for Ruby yet. Otherwise, that might be there. Their child married and then adopted some people that... my goodness, this is a confusing line. John Doe. unknown there. Curious. That's the easiest fucking one. Guy Hudson, you sly dog, you fucking everybody. Interesting. This is definitely Joanna Robertson. Definitely was a secretary. Must have a new job when she fled. I wonder what that could be. Oh, that's right. Fuck, she worked the register. Retail? Retail. Tiny little thing I didn't notice. Yes, because she's no longer a secretary when she killed herself. She was working retail, working the register at a place. Okay, so we've got 2 that I'm pretty sure are locked in. We just need 2 more. And I'm gonna stop here. I'm gonna take a nice sleepy break sleep. I will not be back Saturday. I've got so much going on Saturday. D&D, kids swimming party where at the end of the year they have a big swim party at the pool. But Dr. Wifey is taking 2 of the children and going on a trip that will last, I believe, over a week, starting Monday. So I expect that I'll be able to do more streams next week than I would normally do. Now, I've tried to do this in the past, and occasionally I need a day where I just don't stream because I'm fucking exhausted. But if I made a list of all the things I would wish to do next week, I would like to finish the Roottrees Are Dead. I think, given how slow I've made it tonight, although I was pushed back by an hour, I will need at least 1, possibly 2 more streams for that. So maybe I'd like to do some 2B2T content in the Jack rooms for Jack the Ripper's base, Ocean's Anomalous. I would love to get on 2B2T live, but I don't think that's going to happen. It's just a fucking nightmare. I'd like to do more Simpcraft and do something fun on the Anarchy server Simpcraft that we were messing around with, building some meme shit. If we haven't been completely burned down by now. Nobody's really talked about it in a while. Who knows? If I don't do one of those 2B2T or Simpcraft, I'll probably do Constantium. Just do a quick video there. It's still on the temp map as far as I know, although that may have ended today. RimWorld. Got to do more Dirty Dogs Cult. And yeah, just maybe some other streams in between of different games that we've been slacking on or want to play or whatever. So, and I'd like to play a game with people. I know Slippy mentioned, hey, reach out to me. I've got time. We could play some Deep Rock or something. That'd be great. I would love to do that. And we could probably get some Dark Takanawa or Dusty involved as well. They're always playing those games. All right, guys. Thanks so much for watching. I hope you guys are having a great time watching The Roottrees Are Dead. I know I'm having a great time playing it. I'm just obsessed. Absolutely fucking obsessed with it. I will see you all next time.
Thanks for watching Doctrzombie. See you next time.